So if you didn't know, Coinbase does offer staking, and the two highest APYs they got, they have Cosmos, ATOM ticker, ATOM, Atom. I do stake that one already, 6.12% on that baby, and 5.75% on ALGO. Algorand. ALGO, if you go first, Randy. It always reminds me of Stan's dad in South Park. But anywho, today I'm going to make this video about this little idea I have that I really gosh darn wish I had about at this time in my life instead of right now. But this 77-day moving average, getting a potential bounce off of here, is something basically why I think it might be a good time to get in for a long hold. It's down 7% on the day. And in trading, every trader is different, you know. In my experience, I started very short term, scalping penny stocks. Eventually, I evolved to doing crypto. Now I have some long holds. I'm long in a couple other plays as well. And I'm looking for a good entry point here. So that's why I gosh darn wish I freaking would have had this idea about a month ago when it was down near 15 cents. But now, moving forward with the situation today, I'm going to do a little technical analysis on the chart. Why I think it's a good time for me to jump in on some long and get 5.7%, 5.75%, and nothing I say is financial advice. You should never copy trade anybody, etc., etc., etc. So we're going to go TA here on the 4-hour chart and then close it in more closely. I'm going to optimize a time today to maybe try. And going back to every trader is different. So for me, when I first started, I learned to cut my losses small. It was the hardest skill to learn and super duper key for risk management. Like, I could have 6 winning day trades and have 1 loss that would cancel out all 6 trades because I didn't have the skill of cutting my loss small down. Now, I've acquired that skill pretty gosh darn well. And so, in this case, I will also draw my line in the sand where I'm going to cut the loss small. You know, eventually, I'll enter on it and ride it long in profit. But in this case, it's kind of like, you know, a quarter is a huge psychological level. After November being up at 45 cents, coming all the way down to 15 2 months later, and trending up since then. Gosh, you know, again, I wish I had gotten in down here, but who knows? Who knows what it's going to do from here? It could be back down to 15 in a week. It could be over 30 in a week. So, for this particular possible entry today, let's dive in a little closer. After I point out a couple more things here from the 4-hour look, I'm going to zoom in on. In my opinion, this is an absolutely wonderful example of how in technical analysis, support and resistance lines come back into play. Okay, so looking at this previous moving range back through here, basically it's basically from about 235 to 248, rounding. But to be specific, this line from even further back in time on key support or resistance is on exactly 2357. So looking over at the action now, at the possible, is it a good time to dip buy? One thing I use in crypto is the 77-day moving average, and I use the VWAP. That's it, and the RSI. Keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it. I really like the 77-day moving average a lot. It often acts support or bounce like, as we've seen, like, look at since back in this moving range. At that point, that was, you know, after it was rejecting it. It dropped, it tested it again, dropped, tested it again, dropped. They often, moving averages in general, often can act as resistance or support or pivotal points. So after that recovery from being down near 15 clear back there, it pushes through, right? It's now 3rd time encountering it, okay? And just like on this dip, it spent 4, 8, 12, 16, you know, over half a day kind of south of it. So, on this particular dip, this particular candle, again, going back to how support and resistance comes back around, this particular candle came down to exactly where the blue line was placed, that exact 2357 spot. So in my opinion, anything under 24 cents here is going to be a good entry for my strategy, and included in that is cutting the loss small where that support was built up. 2305. That is where I'll cut the loss small. About a half a penny per, maybe a full penny if it doesn't come back down from 24 here. And then I'll long hold it for the staking. If I have to cut the loss small down there, then it might be pivoting south of the 70-day moving average, and I might be waiting a while for what I think is a decent time to enter for a long hold on this puppy and get staking it. Again, nothing said as financial advice. You should never copy trade anyone, and I'm not, I don't have an order dialed in, but basically I'm going to see what it does here with 24 cents. In case it's not going to go through 24, sometime in the next 5 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever, it could be back down testing that 2357, that crucial line, a line from previous times that this particular 4-hour hunk of life touched. So I'm going to wait it out if it keeps staying under 24. However, if it shows me watching short-term momentum, now here we are on 5-minute candles. If it shows me something on the 5-minute candles that says it's maybe going to stay over 24 once it gets through, so here we go, another previous line, 241. Basically, if it's going to stay under here, I'm going to make sure it's going to stay over 2357, catch closer to that as the entry. If it drops under it, I'm waiting to enter. And then, au contraire, if it comes up through 24, and like, even 24.10, I'm going to say, I'll go back and find where that line was from to fully decide. But basically, if I see a little pullback confirmation type behavior, I'll get in slightly over 2.4 here. And in terms of the 5-minute candles, whew, you know, it just had a big dip there, a sideways action, fresh off another dip. So we'll see. You know, it could recover quick and get right back over 24. Could hold sideways here and be under 235 later on. So that's my plan with it. It's not financial advice. And yeah, like I said, Coinbase, you didn't know there's multiple you can stake, and this one is the second highest reward. I'm already staking their first highest rewarding one as well, which is Cosmos, ticker ATOM. Here's a peek at that ditty little daddy just for you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I wish you the best of luck in all your trading. I hope you have a great day. Build your strategy, stick to it, start with small money. Don't throw it all in right away if you don't know what you're doing. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.